Hello, everyone. Welcome to Through the Struggle. I am Daisy, and this is my wonderful husband, Rayvion. How are you doing today, honey?
I'm doing good. I'm just happy we finally started the podcast. It took us a long time, but we finally got it. We got all the equipment. Yeah, I'm feeling good.
Take 5.
Yeah, take like 20, actually.
Okay, so we're going to tell you guys. So this is just the introduction for today, and we're going to tell you guys a little bit about the reason why we chose Through the Struggle as a name, a podcast name. I was about to say some other stuff. That's so weird. But anyways, as a podcast name, we're going to give you guys a little insight of us, who we are, introduction, and hopefully we can get to the story of us getting together and ending up here.
Yeah, hopefully.
Okay, so we're going to start off with the reason why we chose Through the Struggle. Babe, do you want to take it away?
Well, the main reason we chose it was because me and my wife been through a lot in life. Mm-hmm. We've been through a lot of struggles that the average 19, 20, 21, 22-year-olds don't go through. And we made them out of all of them. Like, we never got broken. We never fainted. Through all the trials and tribulations, we always made it through. So we decided to make a podcast to share our experiences, to give advice to people about the situation they're in now, just to help the young people, because there's not a lot of guidance out here for the young people. We're just freehanding it. We're just freehanding life, so people usually get stuck in a bad position like that. So we just want to offer our advice, even if it only helps one or two people. I'll be happy with it. So, yeah.
We just want to show you guys that it is possible to make it as a young couple, as in young individuals in general. Just show you guys that everything that you go through is going to come out with a brighter ending as long as you keep pushing forward through it. And so that's what we're going to share some advice, our battles, our trials, our tribulations, everything that we're still going through, or things that we've been through as you being young in general. That's what starts it off. Like, everybody believes just because you're young, you haven't lived on earth for that long, you can't have wisdom, you can't be wise, you can't do this, you can't do that. But I'm here to tell you guys that you guys can do whatever you want to do, whatever you can put your mind to. That's what's going to happen. You can be 40 years old and not know nothing, and be 10, 15 years old and know a lot. So
yeah, and to add on to that, me and my wife, the reason we really want to start the podcast also is because we exceeded expectations from everyone. Like, the expectation for us was to be in the projects, a bunch of kids, living on welfare, food stamps, all that, So we exceeded those expectations, and we're almost there. We're almost finished. So, yeah, we just want to let you guys know that you don't have to be a statistic, however you say it.
Statistic, yeah, you said it right.
Yeah, you don't have to be a statistic. You can actually prove people wrong. And I'm not saying you live your life that way. Don't live your life trying to prove people wrong, because you're just going to be miserable. I'm just saying that you can block out the noise and make your own life. It don't matter how your parents, your grandparents, cousins, brothers view you. You can always change your life. You can always come through the struggle.
I personally had someone come to me that was supposed to be super close to me. It's supposed to be family, my blood, come to me is like, yeah. So I see you guys still being together, but I see you guys making it together. But I see you living in a project. You're just being a baby daddy. You out here having a whole bunch of kids. Me just sitting in the projects taking care of a whole bunch of kids that we had. And living off of welfare, so security, food stamps, all that. Like, that hurted. Like, okay, so you think that. And then once we move past that step, they pretend like they never said it. And it's just like, okay, next. But, yeah, don't live your life trying to prove a point. Don't be too cocky with it. And don't sit there and just boast about everything that you have and what you don't have. But you have the right to be happy. To say and share the news, what you have and what you don't have.
Right.
Just don't be cocky with it, because as soon as you get it, it can get taken away. That's another thing. That's another lesson we had to learn. But we're going to give you guys a little bit of introduction about ourselves individually and then together. I'm Daisy. I am 21 years old. I am currently a nursing student, and I have 3 children. Been married to my wonderful amazing husband for almost 4 years. On May 28th, we will make it for 4 years. So, woo, yay! There's the clapping
Right.
there. But yeah. So we live where I'm from Cleveland, Ohio. I pretty much grew up on the west side of Cleveland, Ohio, and now we moved to Jacksonville, Florida. I have 3 sisters. Last time I said 4, but I have 3 sisters, and I grew up with just pretty much with my mother. She had her husband involved, but he was an alcoholic, so I mean he wasn't really sober, so
Right.
that's how it was. But yeah, so I grew up with her, and then I also grew up with my grandmother and my grandfather. I've been back and forth with them since I've been born, between my grandparents and my mom for like pretty much my whole entire life. That's how it's been. But yeah, so I have 3 sisters. We grew up in a 2-bedroom apartment. Well, what is that called? A duplex.
Duplex, same thing.
Yeah, well, same thing, you know. But anyways, we grew up in a duplex. Ooh, excuse me. It was 3 of us in one room because my youngest sister wasn't born, and my mom and my mom and her husband at the time had the other room, and it wasn't the best environment. It was very poverty. It was like full of poverty, like where we lived at. It wasn't too much crime. It was more like people being addicted to drugs and stuff in that area. But we moved around a lot. My mom ended up leaving her husband and getting with someone else. To me, that was the worst decision that I feel like could have happened. But I ended up going to stay with my grandmother again, back and forth. So I really didn't have the connection with them as much as they had a connection with each other. Like, I was the black sheep of the whole family. Like, the way that we act, we have similarities, but at the same time, it's like separated because I grew up in like a whole different way than what they did. There was a lot of abuse in our household, a lot of alcohol and drugs. I'm not saying drugs like in heroin, crack, or anything. I'm talking about like marijuana. There was a lot of that growing up. So, I mean, when you get older, you dibble and dabble in it. So that's what happens. But anyways, I ended up meeting my husband. But I'm going to let him tell his story first, and then we can get on to that.
Okay, well, I'm going to start from... Okay, well, my name is Ray.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up on the west side of Cleveland, Ohio. Just like my wife. At the age of about 6-7 years old, I ended up going to foster care for a couple years, and that probably was one of the biggest changes in my life that make me actually start to act out and go down the wrong path. Because when that happened, it just like it scarred me mentally. It wasn't too much of the physical scars; it was the mental scars for me when I was younger. Because I can take, we got abuse. They call it abuse now, but back then it wasn't really abuse. It was getting your ass whooped, basically. But I got that. But the mental side of it was I got separated from my mom, my brothers and sisters. So it just scarred me a lot. So when I did end up going back to my mom a couple years later, it was just the bond. The bond was broken. It was not there anymore. Like a motherly bond with her son, how it was supposed to be, was not like that anymore. And my brothers and sisters, we all separated, did our own little one too. Even though we lived with each other, it was just so different now. Like everything was different. So I end up going down the wrong path, hanging with the wrong people. And yeah, I ended up in bad situations. I end up in and out of the jail, the DH. I end up catching cases, taking people's cases who just end up telling on me. So I end up getting even more time, getting down with gangs and stuff like that. But I was still young. Mm-hmm. Like I said, this podcast is not a judgmental podcast. It's about mistakes. You can make mistakes. If you learn from them, it was worth it. So I would never change my past. I would never change anything I ever did, because those things made me into the man I am today, the father I am, the husband I am. Mm-hmm. But it was just a hard childhood. Like you said, poverty, people stuck in the hood mindset. So, when you get stuck in a mindset, you can't get out of it. If you get stuck in that poverty mindset, you're stuck in poverty for the rest. It don't matter how much money you get, you're going to stay in the hood. You're going to stay in a bad position. So, yeah, it was just a bad way to grow up.
Yeah, I mean, I had when I say abuse, I wasn't talking about getting my ass whooped. Let's go back to that because that's what I heard you say that when you talk about something. It's not what they call it today is abuse and it's ass whoop. No, I wasn't talking about that because everybody deserve. Every kid, I feel. If you act up, you need your butt whooped. But me, it was more so like I want to hit you just to hit you, pretty much situation. Right. Then you get bad grades. I mean, I understand a little spanking or something like a F and a D, you get a little whooping, but no, my stuff was like you get an F, you getting 25 straight across your ass with each parent with a belt with your pants strip pulled down.
I just felt like with my mom and with a lot of parents now and back then, they would take their anger out on their children. So like you do something simple like spill some juice on the floor. You getting dog walk. They beating the shit out of you because they had a bad day. So when I say abuse, it's like things like that, it was normal. So it didn't seem like it was so much of, oh my God, I'm getting physically abused.
Like I need to go to school and be like, oh my God, she's beating my ass.
Yeah, I grew up like that.
You be like, shit.
Doing that shit.
Yeah,
it's not right. Like I wouldn't do it to my kids. Like
oh no, hell no.
I whip my kids, because I believe in the Bible it say you have to discipline your children or you don't love them, and I actually follow by that. But just,
don't leave no marks or bruises on your children.
Yeah, abusing your kids,
don't
being
punch
the shot
them.
of them.
Don't.
A whooping is not abuse. A whooping is a couple.
They've been
pops.
doing that since back in the day.
Yeah, it's not. But
Is it a point where like when I moved to Menor High School? When I went to Menor, this is before I went to high school. I actually went to Menor, and I seen this one kid. It was me and my grandma. We was at the mall. This one girl. Like I was probably like 13, 14 years old, and one girl talking about something. Bitch, give me your credit card. I looked, I'm like, huh? She talking to her mom, like, flat out. My grandma was talking about, she would have got her ass beat. I'm like, y'all don't whoop her? Like, right. I don't whoop your kids, but it's normal. But it's just like when you get too mad about something, like, oh, I don't got a cigarette. Boom! Pop the punch you right in your jaw.
It's a fine line between
abuse,
discipline, and abuse. And a lot of parents cross that line so many times, but they will put in their own heads that I just disciplined you. Like,
or a lot of parents, in my case, will believe that they barely ever whooped you. I'm like, shit, all I remember is getting my ass whooped.
Yeah, but physical abuse will make you act out and do things that you would normally not do. Trying to find love in different places. Discipline will make you change. It will help you change. It will help you learn that this is not what I should be doing or what I did was not right. Abuse will make you just act. Like me, I started to act out. Like I just started to like, you feel me? Like if I'm gonna come here and get my ass beat every day for some shit I ain't even do half the time because my brothers and sisters end up doing it.
I might as well make it worth it.
Yeah, I might as well. You feel me? Go out this bitch and do something.
No, but some things you probably did was bad as hell. I heard your little childhood stories. Yeah. I used to do bad stuff too, but I ain't let my mama know. Like my mom probably still don't know to this day. I used to draw on the wall. Whenever my sister used to get mad at me, or I would get mad at her, I would draw on the wall in her handwriting with my right hand because I'm left-handed. And she would get her butt tore up about this stuff. And I don't even know if they knew that. I used to do that stuff for the longest. But
no, I wasn't even bad for real, bro. It was just
locking your peoples in out the house. Yeah, it was considered bad.
I just had a badass anger problem, and it just came from my mom and my grandma. Like my whole family has that. Like if you get me too mad, I'm gonna spaz. And like to this day, I still have it, but I know I got my anger under control.
Yes, you do.
So it's like when me and you first got in a relationship, I had this. It's like this rage I had in me.
When we first got in a relationship, we both had this rage in us. It wasn't even.
It was crazy.
It was crazy. We're gonna get to that story soon, but
yeah, I just believe the older you get,
the more mature.
Yeah, because maturity comes from experiences, but sometimes your brain is just not fully developed yet.
I know mine probably wasn't at all.
Yeah, sometimes you just got to get older to learn that, okay, that's not right. When you're 16, you won't do the same things you would do at 20, 23, 24, 25 because you're not a kid anymore. So,
but yeah. So we're going to tell you guys how we met. And I'm going to start it off a little bit, and then you chime in whenever you got a little details.
Let's do it.
Okay. So it was a beautiful... No, okay, so it was May 15th, 2012, and... I was going to Clark Elementary at the time. And I know one of them teachers, I don't know what class I was in, but one of them teachers was pissing me the fuck off that day. I don't know what the hell. I think I got in trouble for something I didn't do. And I was so mad that day. But anyways, this boy, at the time he was a child, but he came in, he looked like he was mad as hell. I don't know why he was mad, but I didn't realize it until we was about to get in line. I don't know if it was a fire drill or what was going on that we had to get in line. But all I know is some girl walked up to me and she was like, "Oh my God, look at him. He is so cute." I'm like, dude, y'all definition of cute is like, ugh. So I turned around just to see what was going on, and then he was there looking all cute, but he looked mad. So at first I didn't approach him at first. But then when we got in line, I walked up to him. I'm like, "Hey, what's your name?" You what? Like, hey. I'm like, "My name is Daisy." He was like, "I'm Rayvion," and then just like kept pausing after every like word, like he didn't want to speak.
Yeah, I was extremely antisocial in school, and I was very quiet. Anyone who ever went to school with me since kindergarten till now know that when I'm in school, I'm extremely quiet. But once we leave out of school, okay, you feel me? I speak a little bit more, but I just didn't talk in school.
Why was you mad that day?
The biggest reason I was mad because I just got off of a expulsion from something I didn't even do. Like, I got expelled out of this school called Lewis Agassiz for some shit I didn't even do. Like
What'd you do?
It was this white boy named Mark. It was me, Mark, and some other dude in the bathroom. He broke the window. And me, I'm running up out that bitch. I ended up getting glass stuck in my hand. So we went to the principal's office. They tell me about who broke the window. We all denying it, but they seen glass in my hand though. You feel me?
Man.
So I ended up getting in trouble for it, getting expelled. So they said I had to go to Clark. Just to let you guys know that I did not want to go to Clark at all. Like, for the last 2-3 years, they've been trying to get me to go to Clark. I would not go. I did not want to go to that school just because
anybody wants to go to
it was
Clark.
just like a bad reputation. Like, no one wants to be at Clark. Any other school I would have went to, but not that one. But they said I had to go there. I had to go on the east side somewhere. And I didn't have no transportation to go on the east side, so I said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna go to Clark. Let me come get these last." How long was it? 2 more weeks left in school.
You came May 15th, and I think we got out like June 30th, 20th. I don't.
No, it wasn't. It was like June 3rd.
I don't remember. I haven't been to middle school in years. So
But it was like 2-3 weeks left. So I walked into the schoolhouse. Saying I wasn't really mad. I was just like,
he looked like he had attitude.
Frustrated. I didn't want to be there.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can continue on.
So yeah. So I thought, well, I peeped that he probably didn't want to talk at that moment. So I just walked away. So we went outside. I guess we went to the fire drill. I'm not 100% sure. I'm pretty sure it was a fire drill, but if not, oh well. So anyways, continuing on after school, we was about to get ready to go home, and he was standing there again. So I had to go shoot my shot again. But I was just really, honestly, I think it was just me trying to be friendly. It wasn't even no intentions on like, oh, I want him to be my boyfriend. It was more like, if it happens, it happens. I'm not about to be like, hey, baby, what you doing? Yeah. Like that type of situation.
If you didn't look as good as you look, it would have been so creepy. Because
yeah,
you just
that
like,
was creepy.
kept on
but I'm weird.
Pushing the point, but I guess it was all in God's plan, you know, because look at this now.
Good little insight about that situation. I looked crazy like a few weeks before that though. Like I literally was I didn't look right. I had, oh God. Anyway, so I walked up to him and I'm like, "Hey, so where you live at?" Also creepy stuff. At that moment I didn't think it was creepy, but hey, it would have been creepy. But I'm like, "Hey, where you live at?" He told me. I'm like, "Okay, well I live right here." So I mean, it's like a street after yours if you want to walk home with me. This, then the third. He's like, yeah. So at first we walk in. He quiet. I'm asking questions, trying to pry. Like, hey, so what school you just come from? And how old are you? And I had to squeeze that little question. You got a girlfriend? In a little situation. He lied to me. He's like, we just broke up. I'm like, oh.
And knowing damn, that's before I even like started talking to females. Because like I said, bro, I was so quiet. I was antisocial. So like, whenever a female walked up to me, tried to talk to me, I was like, pushed them off. Because I really didn't want to. I didn't talk. I was shy. I wouldn't really say shy because when like it came to like class, like read this text in the classroom, I do it. So I wasn't really shy. I was just, I don't know. I can't explain it.
You were female shy.
Yeah, female shy.
So we walked home, and we walked home with another girl, and she was trying to pry her little information. She was trying to get her little, trying to see what he on too. But you know how that stuff go compared to me. at that moment, y'all, because this before I had 3 kids, gained all that weight, all that other stuff. But anyway, so we walk home. He walks me almost all the way home because I didn't want my mom to see a boy just walk me all the way home. So he literally walked me like probably to the corner of my street, and it was because I lived like in the alley area. You remember that on Oakley? Mm-hmm. I lived in the alley area, and he walked me like right there before the alley hits. But my mama was already outside, so she already peeped a little something. But anyways, he asked me for a hug, and I gave him a hug. I was happy as hell. I spent that next morning, I think I woke up like 2 hours early, make sure my hair was did, I had my makeup on, make sure I looked decent, you know. It was on from there. You want to finish the rest of the story?
Yeah, so we walked home the next day. I knew that it was getting to the point that it was my last time to shoot my shot because I was so quiet, I was so shy, but I just had to. It was something inside me saying like, man, you better go in on this one. So I asked for a little kiss, a little peck.
You missed the whole little detail.
What detail? Oh, well, you didn't say the whole hands thing.
No, you held my hand out of nowhere. That was cute.
Yeah, we held hands. And then the little peck. And after that little peck, it was over with. That's when we made it official. Called it a relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, we were still kids, though, 13, 14. So if you want to call that a relationship, but it was...
It was 6 days before my birthday.
Yeah.
May 16th. It was our official date, May 16th, 2012. And it was history from there on. And shoot, we always had like a little kind of relationship, whether when we even broke up. But I'm going to tell you guys the cutest little thing he did, okay? So it was my birthday, May 22nd. And he came up there and he got me the most cutest little necklace. It was a heart-shaped necklace and it had like the angel wings on it. And it was so cute. But everybody seen when he gave it to me, too. And I don't know why people were just staring that day. Like, they were just staring. Every time we kissed, anytime we hugged, there was just a whole bunch of people just standing. Like, excuse me.
We was the shit for a minute. Like, people just... I don't know why, though, but...
You remember giving me that necklace?
Yeah. But that's how it always is with us, though. Like, to this day, people just... We got this vibe. When we walk into a room, it's like all eyes on us. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's not always good neither. Sometimes it's like people get to looking. You can tell, you can sense the bad energy coming around. But yeah, back to the story. So I knew it was going to be her birthday the next day. So I asked my mom for some money. She didn't give it to me. I think my grandma gave me about $20. Mm-hmm. And my mom said she wasn't going to take me to Walmart to get you anything because she, you know, we just got together. She really didn't want me buying you anything anyways. So I got up at 5 o'clock in the morning, walked all the way to Walmart, which was about an hour. Yeah, a little over an hour.
46th in the store to 25th. Oh, my God.
It was like, I think the steel yard like on 14.
Yeah, the steel yard is way past that.
Yeah, but to make a long story short, I bought the necklace, came to the school, gave it to you, and I was so shy even giving you the necklace. I don't know why. I didn't even want to pull it out and give it to you because it was so like, I don't know, man. I used to be so weird back in the day.
Johnson, I got you something.
Yeah, I used to be so weird, man. But I seen it made you happy, so I was happy.
He put it on my neck. He had a hard time putting it on my neck at first, but it was there.
Yeah,
you did. It was like, you know, the little clap, so you gotta tilt it down. Yeah. I was so excited. I was so excited. And then the rest of that was history. Like, we was together almost every day. Yeah. We went to the park. We kicked it. Yeah,
then we went through a little breakup period about, how long? About a year? We broke up for about a year.
Yeah, but technically, the breakup wasn't, I mean, it was a breakup, like, the title ended, but we were still somehow, some way involved.
Yeah, we just threw the title out. Mm-hmm. But it was still, like, people knew what it was. Like, we did our own little one too, but everybody knew that it was me and my wife. I mean, not my wife at the time, but me and Daisy. Like, our names just was intertwined Rayvion forever.
I'm gonna let's just get this off the table too. The reason why we did break up, it's not like we didn't know the reason why we broke up or anything that happened in that situation. And like, people don't understand that. Like, we moved past the situation, we got over it, and like, y'all act like it don't, like we don't know. Like, we like each other. We both made mistakes at that time. So
yeah, I believe the biggest reason we had to break up was just because the immaturity. We were still young, just entering high school, doing dumbass high school shit. We were doing things ninth graders did, you know. So we had to take that time apart so we could make the mistakes we had to make, so that we could just, you know, like I said, every story is not a perfect story. But it don't have to be a perfect story. It just has to end right. Like the ending just has to be, you know, a good ending. And I think that our story is so interesting just because that it's not the perfect story. We went through so much. We broke up. We came back together. I went to jail. She went to Menor to stay with your grandma for a little while. We went through all this bullshit, and we still at the end of the day came back. Like they always said, if you let love go, it's going to always come back to you if it's true love. And when we came back together, it was so crazy because it was out of nowhere. It wasn't like we've been talking about it. We were just going to get back together. We were still talking,
but we wasn't talking.
Yeah.
Like it was more like we had a love-hate relationship.
Right.
Like we both know that we still loved each other, but it was just like something in us. We just had to argue. We had to hate each other. He had him a little fling. I was just there. Shoot. I mean, it was situations where we would literally make it our goal just to run into each other just so we can argue. And then right after we're done arguing, chill for a minute, then he goes back, proceeds on to blocking me for a few days or a few weeks, few months. Every anniversary that we didn't spend together, like May 16th, he'll hit me up. We'll link up. We was only broken up on one anniversary, though, I believe.
Yeah, it was only one anniversary, but I feel that...
We still kicked it that day, though.
Right, but when I was... We got back together basically when I was in jail. I was in jail just getting ready to come home. I had like 2 more months left. We ended up making it official again because I realized that when I was in jail, all these females who said they was going to hold me down, they were going to be with me. Yeah, it was just not... You know how that... People who've been in jail before know how it goes. Females, you go to jail for over 6 months. I was in jail for about 13 months. And females feel like they're free now. Talk to whoever they want to talk to, do what they want to do. And the only one who actually, like, was looking forward to my cause, the only one who actually, like, wanted to be with me was my wife. She was the only one who could actually see that, okay, I can see a future with you. Everyone else just wanted to be young. And that's another big thing about our relationship was I was way more mature than the average 16, 17-year-old. So I didn't want to be going to parties, kicking it. I had a whole lifestyle I wanted. Not like house, kids, and all that, but... When we started to sell drugs, get some money, we started to dibble and dabble in all these different things. It was just a lifestyle that the only one who would have accepted me for who I was my wife, because my wife knew me before I turned this way. My wife knew me before I got turned out, basically, to the streets, to the hood, to all this gang stuff. So she's seen the potential in me. She's seen that, okay, I'm gonna ride or die with you. If you wanna,
whatever you did, I'm gonna do too.
Yeah, if you want to trap, let's do it. If you wanna rob somebody, let's do it. If you want to do these drugs, let's do it. Not any hardcore drugs, like.
Oh no, we wasn't doing crack heroin. We wasn't out here scratching our necks and shit. But
you want to sip some lean, I'll sip it. Like she would have did anything with me, and I didn't see any other female to do it who would do that for me. You know,
like it was more like it wasn't. I'm not saying. Ladies, females, I'm not saying go out and do drugs because your boyfriend wants to do drugs or go out and rob people because you want to. It was more so you had to do what you had to do to survive. And it wasn't just him in the situation. It was me. We both came from pretty much the same background. We both had nothing and nobody. So it was pretty much that. Now, we're going to go to when we got back together. He got home November
18th,
2014. He came home. We got together literally a month before that. It was October. We got back together October 18th, 2014. But the problem is, again, like I said, make it clear, we was not we was broken up. We lost the title, but we was still talking. Like we still made it a goal to speak to each other. I still checked up on him when he was in jail, wrote him all the other stuff. But when he came home, and I couldn't make it that first day to spend it with him. So I came the second day, and it was like immediately after we got back together. We haven't seen each other in a year. Immediately after we got back together, it was like we never broke up. Like we just picked up where we left off at, and it came from. Those was like the best days. I had to reminisce your second day home
because it was like, even though we both knew that if everyone else left us, we'd still have each other. Because like when your family turned against you and my family turned against me, we still had each other, and we always knew that we can count on each other. And it was like from my first day, you gave me the vibe that everything was going to be okay. It don't matter what you do, I'm gonna be with you, doing it with you,
no matter what.
Yeah, so I don't know. I never had that before. And when we got back together, we were both way more mature. It wasn't
way
like
more mature from 13 to 14 years old.
Yeah, it wasn't like a little kid relationship anymore. It wasn't like we're gonna go out here and do some dumb shit. We just filming did our own little 1-2.
I ended up getting locked up. I think it was like your second week home, or third week. It was like it was a few. I think it was like December 8th. I think I got locked up.
Yeah, something like that.
And I ended up doing a month in there, and then I ended up getting home. We both ended up on house arrest at the same exact time.
Mm-hmm.
I got off a month earlier than you, and then it was still on house arrest. I was over there every single day. Then after he got off house arrest, it was all down there from there. I think that's when we went. Was that when we first went homeless or no? No, we didn't go homeless until my second bid. Yeah,
second time.
So we wasn't living together at the time either. At this moment, we were staying together, like at friends' house, well, quote unquote friends. My house, his basement, his back thing in his old house.
Right.
Like we stayed together at the hospital, everything. And then I ended up going back down for 5 months.
Yeah, something like that.
And then we ended up picking right back off where we left off, and then that's when we first went homeless.
Yeah, when we went homeless, it was the same thing, because we've been together so long, and we knew each other since like elementary school. When we went homeless, it's just like we just clung to each other, and I believe that's a big reason why me and my wife got married, because that moment when we were homeless, we both did not give up on each other. We kept going, you know.
And that's the reason. That's when we started to sell drugs, because we went homeless.
Yeah.
We didn't have nowhere to go. We was tired of not having nowhere to go. We was tired of not having any money. At this time, we didn't have any money at all. So, I mean, we had to do what we had to do. And that was pretty much it. And it's sad because it's people who's supposed to protect you from doing that stuff who got us onto it.
Yeah.
And then they started taking portions of it. Then once we got control of everything and we started
we had to cut the middleman out.
we cut her out. And then we ended up getting our own little trap house. In the back, we lived on 73rd, and it was like what is it called? Is it a mother-in-law suite type situation? Like that. We ended up paying this girl $300 a month. And we was there from January to March.
Yeah, only a few months.
March, April. No, yeah, March, the end of March. We was there, and that's when the life actually started. The crazy stuff started happening.
Yeah, but to fast forward a little bit, my wife ended up finding out she was pregnant about when we lived there in March. You found out you were pregnant April 1st.
25th.
25th? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was in April. After she found out she was pregnant, that
was my conceiving date, April 1st.
Yeah, but everything started to change. Our mindsets changed. We just wanted to do better for our kids.
The gangbanging.
Yeah, so all that gangbanging shit. And then the older I got, I realized that gang shit ain't mean nothing. People were still going to be disloyal. All the codes and all that bullshit they had was just a bunch of bullshit. It had to cover it up. Mm-hmm. So I've been like low-key getting away from the gang shit just so it can be me and my wife, because we were going to have more money just making me and her more loyalty, because people didn't really, how that... Just like to this day, I don't have any friends just because of that specific point. But my wife found out she was pregnant. We started to change our lives up a little bit. And then... we got our first house. I'm skipping a big part, but I know we only have a few minutes left. So
we got married.
Yeah, we ended up.
But we didn't get married because of the baby. We actually had that date a year before. So that's another thing we wanted to get off our chest. We got engaged, quote unquote, a year before that. Actually, we had that date picked up. We got married May 28th. Then we ended up getting our first house, which was a project.
Yeah, the part down the way, and people from Cleveland know down the way is like not the best place to live at.
Especially on Quincy.
Yeah, on Quincy.
What was the apartment called?
I don't even know.
Carver Place.
Carver Park.
Carver Park. Yep.
It was some bullshit like that, but we ended up moving there. From there, we moved to Norwood, another really, really bad area. We really didn't get into much trouble down there.
at all.
Like, so when we moved to the east side,
it was pretty much strictly trying to make money.
It was so much better, even though we were in the bad places, because that people didn't know us that well. And on the west side, we were so well known. Mm-hmm. Like, people knew, like, we could not avoid people because people just knew us so much. I didn't like it like that. Some people love it. I hated it. So after that, we moved to back on the west side to West 20th, mm-hmm. and that's when things started to become stable.
And Old Brooklyn.
Yeah, Old Brooklyn. Mm-hmm. It became way more stable because that we just learned to just cut people off.
Sit back, relax, make your money, take care of your children. Because at that time we had 2 kids.
Yes, and our lifestyle we lived was so hectic. We just wanted to relax.
Yes.
Like, we didn't want all this traffic, all this drama. So we just started changing. But one big thing I skipped was God. Like, God played a big part in everything.
And we're going to get more in detail about that in the
we're
next
going to
podcast.
go more into detail. But, like, if it was not for God, our mindsets wouldn't even change. We would have been in jail somewhere or dead somewhere because we were doing so much shit we shouldn't have been doing. But I'm going to wrap it up now, because time is almost up. So, want to say anything before we go?
I just hope you guys tune in. If you guys are watching on YouTube, please like, comment, and subscribe. Mm-hmm. If you guys are listening on any podcast areas, guys, please just continue viewing us. Follow us in our journeys and our stories. And we're going to get back to the next one. Hope to see you guys soon. And we got anything to say?
Not really, but just continue just to, if you're struggling, continue just to push through. Mm-hmm. Because one thing I've seen is people, when they start to struggle, they start to give up. Don't give up. Keep going. Push through. Make it through that struggle and on to the next one, because your whole life is going to be full of struggles, especially if you live in a lifestyle.
Especially if you're an adult.
Yeah, living a honest lifestyle, you're going to struggle every single day. Every day is going to be a new struggle. Just continue to push your way through and continue just to make an honest living, take care of what you need to take care of. And just, we'll see you guys next time. And I hope you guys continue to listen to us, continue to view, and just stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Bye.